Hey everybody, my name is Jeremiah Craig and I am back at Helen's Leather Shop in Boston, Massachusetts, and today we are taking a look at the harness boot from Frye. Let's get into it. All right, so I was just sitting down to review this boot and Greg, the manager here at Helen's Leather Shop, came over and he says, you know, Frye invented the harness boot. Frye was right here in Massachusetts. They started in 1860, around about there, 1863 in Marlborough, Massachusetts, and they invented the harness boot. They started out with this boot right here, which is called the cavalry boot, and then they put the harness on it, and apparently it's just for design purposes. It doesn't really do anything other than just look badass. Although I've noticed whenever I put a harness boot on is that you do get a little bit more ankle support, and you're not gonna roll an ankle, I don't think, in a harness boot just because you have this huge piece right here and all this leather around that area. So that's a really interesting fact. And with that, let's get into looking at this harness boot from Frye. Now this is a drum dyed leather, so it's dyed all the way through, and there is no leather lining, just the lining is the leather, the other side of the leather on the inside, except down on the vamp. The lining of the vamp is cloth or some sort of canvas, or it feels like a canvas sort of material, or a thin burlap, so it isn't leather down here. For the insole, you do have a slight cushion to it, but it kind of feels like it could be leather as well, and it is not removable. We have a really nice aggressive rubber sole here, and a really thick heel cap, rubber heel cap, and a composite heel. It doesn't feel like wood, but it isn't leather either. So this feels stiffer than the Boulay harness boot that we looked at earlier this year in New Hampshire. It definitely is a little stiffer. I'm gonna put it on and I'll show you that it is just, it's just not as supple as the Boulay harness that we looked at, but it still feels real sturdy. So let's put this boot on and get our first impression of it right here at Helen's Leather in Boston. All right, let's get this boot on here. All right, nice fit. I do have thinner socks on than I usually do. Let's see, got a thin boot sock. So it does feel a little bit big, but it does look good too. So it feels much thicker than what the Boulay felt like. And it's definitely gonna take a little bit longer to break in just by the feel of it. That leather is really thick. Harness is sort of rubbing against the little bone in my ankle, which is kind of strange, but as the boot settles, I would hope that would go away. But the overall thickness and just lack of the supple leather feel that I like when I put a boot on, it's just not there. Like, it's not supple at all. But it's not like it's not a nice leather either. It definitely feels better than the stiff Justin 1409 that I've tried previously, and if you want to see that video, you can check it out above. I'm far from a spiritual experience on this boot, but I feel like once it's broken in, that's where the boot really will shine, just because it's that type of leather that just really needs to be broken in. I hear some of you guys with the stiffer leathers, you always tell me that they break in really nice. It just takes a really long time for them to break in, and sometimes I just don't feel like I have that kind of patience. So I'm not sure if I would have the kind of patience for this boot to break in. I would like the leather lining to be in the vamp as well. That kind of feels a little bit less than what I would want to feel, a little less quality, but basically what I'm trying to say is I like the Boulé harness better. Just gonna come right out and say it. I like the Boulé harness boot better. Sorry, Frye. I just sat down to take these boots off, and I do like how these boots hug the heel. So you have a nice amount of support at the heel, but you still have that heel slip that you want in a boot like this. It feels nice in the heel. The leather is just really thick, and I feel like they could have done better with it. Like I said, after trying the harness boot from Boulé, I just think that Boulé did a better job with it, and it's a cheaper boot. I believe Boulés are coming in, the Boulé harness boots are coming in at around like 250. Is this coming in at 300?
Like 3.5.
This is like $100 more. This is $350. So for the price range, I would say that the value is not there as much as I would want it to be, especially when you can get a better boot, in my opinion, for $100 less. And if you want to see what I'm talking about with that Boulé boot harness video, you can check that out above as well. But when it comes down to it, I just think that they could have done a better job for $350, especially from the company that invented this style of boot. What do you guys think though? Let me know what you think of the Frye harness boot down in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you're ever in Boston, do not forget to check out Helen's Leather Store right here, and maybe you can give this boot out a try for yourself. And if you let me know when you'll be here, maybe I'll meet you here. So I'm signing off. My name is Jeremiah Craig, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.
I expected better from the inventor today. What can I say? It was a little stiff, and I wish it fit in a better way. Plus, I don't quite think that it's worth all that pay. I'm sorry to say, but I expected better from the inventor today. My name is Jeremiah Craig. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.